behind me talking. You mean go sit outside and talk? I don't want, hi y'all. I step outside the car. Hey. I'm gonna step outside the car. We are, hey y'all. We're getting our house show, showings going on. So we pulled across the street to the neighbors. But yeah, this is the house for sale. This is our house for sale. It's going for $190K. I posted it on Facebook, and you can go online, but I can't give the address, but that sign, let me see if I can zoom in on the sign. You can call that number. Okay, see that's ups. There we go. Ooh. I'm not moving the phone, but Megan Cleveland, 444210242. You can call her to inquire about the property in Dallas, Georgia, under Ida Gardner, right? Yeah, under Ida Gardner. So yeah, that's our house for sale, and they are doing showings, so we can't be home when they do the showings. My neighbor just we were sitting out front a few minutes ago because we thought someone was coming at 7, but they didn't come at 7. So we sitting out front. We didn't want to go in the house. We didn't want to mess it up because the house has to be perfect, right? Like a model home, right? And you know, we don't live like model people. But yeah, like a model home. But our neighbor here, they don't mind us parking in their driveway. They're good people. We're gonna miss these people around here. But I told my neighbor at that house right there, with that red truck and van in the yard, the wife said, I seen that sign and it just broke my heart. She said, I can't believe you guys are moving. We've been neighbors for 15 years. I said, yeah, but we're moving on. But I told her, I said, we're not moving that far from here. But anyway, let's talk about, hey, this is a subject I've talked about, race in America, right? And yeah, I want to talk about it again, just in case some of you guys have not gone back and watched my other videos. I talked about this about a month or so ago. If you go to my Facebook page, and at the top, when you go to search, the magnifying glass at the top of your Facebook page, click that magnifying glass, and an address box will come up. You type in Ida Gardner, and then several Ida Gardners will come up. But you click on, I'm on there. I got a yellow outfit on. Click on, well, you don't even have to click. Just click videos, and when you click videos, all the videos will come up, and you can read the subtitles, the titles, and it'll tell you what each one is about. Right? So, race in America. Why are we protesting? Why are we protesting? We are protesting because of all of the injustices that are going on. The injustices against the black and brown, right? Black meaning myself, and brown meaning the Native American Indians, right? Yeah. Let me tag some people. Give me a second here. Put this tablet down. Race in America. Why are we protesting? Why are we protesting? Why are we protesting? We are protesting because of all the injustices that have been done to us from slavery on. And I'm going to talk to you guys about from slavery all the way up to present day. Race in America. Race in America. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share button. Hit that like button, hit that share button. You can hit it right now. And let your other friends and family members listen in. Let them listen up as to what I have to say. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate you all taking out your time on a Friday evening. Yes, last day of work for some, and some are working from home, myself. But for those who work Monday through Friday, this is your last day. So now you have the weekend to enjoy, right? The weekend to relax and not have to get up in the morning unless you're working different shifts, unless you're working different days, right? But I'm still tagging here. I'm tagging, tagging, tagging. So how was you guys' day today? How was you guys' day today? Mine was pretty good. I had to be online at 7:30 this morning. I got up around 5:30 or so. I had to be online at 7:30. I did some work online, and then I cleaned the house some more. I did some laundry, yeah, and I then had to run to the store, came back, had to do some more work online for my job, and then I had to get ready to get out of the house because the agent had some people coming to look at the house to do some showings, trying to sell that property. It was hot. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so that car feels good, the air feels good. So yeah, so then from 4:30, from about 4 to about 7, we had to be out of the house, and there was several showings that the agent brought over to the house to look at the house. And then we got back to the house about 7, but we didn't go in. We opened the garage door, we sat out front. And then I called the agent to find out what's going on. That I thought someone was coming at 7, and she said they called and canceled. Wish they would have called me. But then she looked and said, there's another showing at 8 o'clock. And the reason why these showings are so late, because they're showing after people get off work, right? People get off work, and that's when they have time to come and look at the property, right? So yeah, race in America, race in America. So we, as black and brown, we were given a short stick. We were given a short stick from the beginning, okay? They brought our ancestors over on the slave ships. But prior to them bringing our ancestors over, our ancestors were queens and kings, and they had land and property, and they lived in their communities. Yeah, they were just living gloriously, living happy, being happy, not worrying about anything. And then, of course, here come the man. Here come the slave traders, right? And they hire our people to help catch our people, right? They hire people that's our color. They hire the blacks to help catch some of the other blacks and to the U.S., right? So we would give. So now I'm talking about race in America, race in America. So we're giving that short stick. So they brought our people over here, and then we're gonna fast forward to. Give me a second. We're gonna fast forward to when the end of slavery. The Civil War was fought between 1861 and 1865. And the Civil War was fought in order to end slavery. It was fought between the Northerners and the Southerners of the United States. The Northern states and the Southern states. The Southern states wanted to keep slavery because they wanted to keep the slavery to work their lands, their crop, their sugar canes, their cotton, build their buildings, or whatever the case may be. They wanted to keep the slaves, right? They wanted to keep slavery. But then the northern people, the northern states, they was really indifferent to it, you know. They wasn't really into it, but the southern states wanted to keep it. So the Civil War was fought between 1861 and 1865, right? And then the North won. The North won, right? And of course, the Southerners, they had the Confederate flag, and they considered the Confederate flag part of their history, their heritage. And the Confederate flag mostly people that's like 65 and older, and younger people also, but 65 and older, uneducated people that felt that Confederate flag is part of their heritage, and they wanted to fly. But yet, it was actually a symbol to us, a symbol of slavery, a symbol of hatred. Right, right, right. And so, yeah. So, the war ended. The North won. But when the North won, they say, "Oh no, we're not going to give them the same rights that we have. We don't want them in our school, public buildings. We don't want them in our funerals, in our mortuaries. We don't want them in our cemeteries. We don't want them doing the things we do. We don't want them associating with us because we don't want them." So they instituted the Jim Crow laws. Yeah. So after the Civil War, they instituted the Jim Crow laws. And it was so many Jim Crow laws. And as time went on, they instituted more and more Jim Crow laws. And these Jim Crow laws were laws that segregated us from doing various things, right? Segregated us from going to the same schools with their children. It segregated us from being in the same. We could be in the same courtroom, but we'd be upstairs and they had to be downstairs. We could be in the same movie theaters, but we'd be upstairs. They had to be downstairs. I experienced that when I was a young girl because I think it was once a month on a Saturday, we were allowed to go to what they called the free show with the pop our own popcorn, bring on candy, bring on soda or whatever. And it was this building in Conway, Arkansas. That's where I'm from. We had to climb this real high stairway to go into the movie theater upstairs. Me as a kid, I was probably about 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't know there were people sitting downstairs. And you know who was sitting downstairs? The non-black and white. The non-black and white. We were not able to go to the concession stand. I didn't even know what a concession stand was. But they had a concession stand. So when we we thought that was a privilege to get a free show once a month. So yeah, so I experienced part of those Jim Crow laws myself. And and then it came up with the Plexi versus Board of Education. The Plexi versus Board of Education is about separate but equal. Separate blacks and whites being separate but equal accommodations, right? So we could go to the courtroom, but we had to sit upstairs and they had to sit downstairs, right? We could ride on the railroad. Back then, that was their way of transportation in the 1800s. But we had to ride in the cars for black people. We could ride in their cars. And with that brings up, I'm sorry, I said Plexi versus Board of Education. I meant Brown versus Board of Education. Sorry about that. Brown versus Board of Education. Separate but equal. Separate but equal accommodation, right? Then, with that brings up Plexi versus Ferguson. Now, here's the Plexi part. Plexi was a black guy. Study your history. Plexi was a black guy. Plexi had a problem with, when he was riding the railroad, he didn't want to ride in the cars that was for blacks only. He wanted to ride in any car he wanted to ride in. And Ferguson was the judge. So that case went all the way up to the Supreme Court, right? But Ferguson lost because of the Brown versus Board of Education. Separate but equal. So Plexi had to ride in the railroad cars with the black people, but they had to have the same type of accommodation, right? So yeah, so the Jim Crow laws, and I believe Lyndon B. Johnson was president when it came to the end of that. It came to the end of the Jim Crow laws. Yeah. Now I'm talking about race in America. I'm talking about how we were dealt a short stick from the beginning. So then what happened? Now, also when our ancestors were slavery, And during the after slavery, during the Jim Crow laws, you know, they would arrest our ancestors if they were standing around loitering and not doing anything. They had what they call a vagrancy law. A vagrancy law. A vagrancy law, yes, a vagrancy law. And then that vagrancy law, if you was caught hanging around, not working, not doing anything, this is during the Jim Crow laws, you could be arrested and sent to prison, sent to jail. And while you were sent to prison and sent to jail, the person in charge of the jail would lend you out to work, free, right? Work, and yeah. So that's what that. Jim Crow laws. Let's see. Hold on for a second. Okay. Okay. 1/10 of blacks back during 1968, when Richard Nixon was in office. About 1/10 of black owned. 1/10 of black holds wealth. Okay. Today we have our people that's wealthy, like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. You know, we have the wealthy ones, but matter of fact, 1/10 of blacks right now actually has wealth, right? And remember, we was dealt the short stick in the beginning. And from 1930 to 1960, from 1930 to 1960s, policies to encourage white families to own homes and discourage families from discouraged black families from owning homes. In 1934, the FHA, the Federal Housing Association. Y'all hit that like, hit that share button, because I want to get more of our people educated. And what I'm saying to you guys here, you can do your research, because I did my research and I found it, right? But hit that like and hit that share so other people can hear it. Because I'm here to uplift, encourage, inspire, and educate. Anyway, so in 1934, the Federal Housing Administration, they authorized the contractors to build all these brand new homes all over the U.S. All these brand new homes, yeah. Money was allocated from the federal government to build all these brand new homes all over the U.S. And they were built for the white people, yes, according to my white. And the realtor association that do not buy the home, do not sell to black people. But if you sold to black people, you would lose your real estate license. Yeah, isn't that something? And then we had, as time go on, then we had the, after the World War II, after the World War II is when we had that boom and the new houses being developed. You know, restricted only for white, right? Yeah. Blacks could not live in those homes. Blacks could not even rent those homes. Those homes were built for the white people. They had to get loans, of course, you know, in order to buy the home. But blacks were not allowed to buy the homes. Now I'm talking about race in America. I'm talking about how we were dealt the short stick from the beginning. Okay? Like I was saying earlier about the realtors. In 1950, realtor code of ethics specifically prohibits selling a house in a white neighborhood to a black family. You could lose your realtor license if you did that. In 1930, the FHA underwriting manual said that incompatible racial groups should not be permitted to live in the same neighborhoods, communities. And they had this highway in this one city, and this highway separating the blacks from the whites, right? Back when I was a kid, and even so to back when I was a kid, the railroad track separated the blacks and the whites. In the city I was raised in, Conway, Arkansas, where the railroad track, the black lived on one side and the whites lived on the other side, yeah. But in this large city, I want to say it was New York, maybe California. There's this highway built that went through the neighborhood that separated the blacks from the whites. Then, remember we dealt that short stick from the beginning. Hit that like and hit that share button, guys. Then, after World War II, the GI Bill was instituted for the veterans. Now, see, this is where it hit home to me, because I'm a veteran. And they still had a GI Bill. But back after World War II, the GI Bill was instituted for the GIs coming home, right? 1 million black veterans was on the outside looking in. In New Jersey, there was 67,000 new mortgages. The GI Bill mortgages, where the military will allow you to use your GI Bill to get a home. There was 67,000 new mortgages. Guess how many went to the black folks? Out of 67,000, guess how many? 400 went to the black veterans. This was in New Jersey after World War II. In Mississippi, in 1947, there was 3,200. No, Mississippi, that southern state. In Mississippi in 1947, there were 3,200 new mortgages. Guess how many went to blacks? 2. See, we were dealt that short stick from the beginning. You know, we dealt that short stick from the beginning. I'm talking about race in America. Race in America. White families were able to have new homes, grow wealth for their families, and send their children to college. You see? One historian said there is no greater instrument for widening an already huge racial gap in post-war America than the GI Bill. So that GI Bill really widened the gap, because the government only allowed the white to get majority of those mortgages. Yes. Okay, the second half of the 20th century, the manufacturing and factory jobs moved to the suburbs. The manufacturing and factory jobs moved to the suburbs. So when these jobs and stuff moved to the suburbs, because they were kind of like in the inner city, but when they moved to the suburbs, back then, a lot of the blacks didn't have cars. A lot of the black men didn't have cars. And then a lot of them couldn't even get a ride. And so what did that mean? That meant they lost their jobs. So now the unemployment rate is up high for the black man and black woman. Then, now we're talking about race in America. We dealt the short stick from the beginning. We started with slavery, then they ended slavery, then they instituted Jim Crow laws, right? Then after World War II, the FHA built all these homes, these new homes, only for white people. And if the realtors sold a home to a black person, they would lose their license, right? Then after World War II, the GI Bill, but the blacks only got a few. And with these loans, these white families were able to live in these new homes, build wealth, and even send their kids to college. So we were dealt a short stick, right? So therefore, after the manufacturing and factory jobs moved out to the suburbs, the blacks could not get out there, so they lost their jobs. So unemployment rate is up high, right? I'm sweating, y'all. Y'all see I'm sweating like a pig? I'm sweating like a pig. Although the sun is not shining, but it's humid. But so they lose their jobs. So they lose their jobs, then guess what happened next? Drugs. Now, drugs up high, right? Now, the federal government, now I read all this, right? The federal government gave money. They funded the police organizations. And told them to arrest more blacks. To arrest more blacks. Hit that like and hit that share button, guys. Hit that like and hit that share button. Let other people hear this. So arrest more blacks. The police organization were funded to arrest more blacks, especially blacks that was doing drugs. And of course, there was robbing and stealing too, but especially the drug rate, right? Back then, a lot of our non-black and brown, they did cocaine, but they used powder cocaine, okay? And you would get arrested for that too. But the ones that used the crack cocaine, which was mostly the black and brown, right? They were given harsher punishments, right? They were given harsher punishments. So more and more people are being arrested, more and more black people are being arrested and put in jail. Okay, and let me see. In 1986, anti-drug abuse, mandatory crack cocaine. Okay, I told you about the crack cocaine and the powder cocaine. Okay, more blacks were arrested. In 1986, the Anti-Drug Act, if you got caught doing drugs, crack cocaine, there was a 5-year minimum sentence, but 9 years prior to that was a 1-year sentence. Race in America, race in America. I keep coming to the front of this car and that engine is running. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about funding for the public housing was cut by during Democrat Clinton's presidency. Funding for the public housing was cut by $17 billion. At the same time, funding for the prisons increased by $19 billion. In 1980, 41,000 in prison for drug crimes. Today, more than 500,000 in prison for drug crimes. Okay? In 2005, 80% of the arrest was possession of drugs. Not selling drugs, possession of drugs. Okay. They talk about the no-knock entry. You know, with the no-knock entry, that one black female, Breonna Taylor, like that happened with her. In the no-knock entry in 1986, there were 35 entries. In 1996, there was 700 no-knock entries. Yeah, like 2 every day, right? Okay. In 1980, our prison population went from 350,000 to 2000, and then in 2005 to 2.3 million people. Our prison population in 1980 it was 350,000, and then by 2005 it was 2.3 million, and now here it is 2020, and I'm sure it's over 3 million now. We imprisoned the highest rate of our black population. Then South America we imprisoned the highest rate of our black population than South Africa did during the apartheid, right? If you are a drug felon, you are barred from public housing. Also, you are ineligible for food stamps. And you are obligated to check the box as felon on an application. Or today, we do resumes and stuff. And if you fill it out, it's hot out here, it's humid out here, but I'm trying to get through this. Bear along with me. So if I can stand out here in this heat and educate you guys, you can't hit that like and share button. That like and share. Okay? Let's see, I got a few more things to say before I get off here. We talk about race in America. Race in America. Our over-reliance on incarceration fails to make us safer or restore the people and communities who have been harmed. Unconscious unconscious bias also seep into our schools. That's for the gifted students. If a black teacher recommends a student for the program, they do not look at the color. If a black teacher recommends a student for the gifted program, that black teachers generally don't look at the color. But if a white teacher recommend a student for the gifted program, they have to choose a white student. That's just a law. That's just I ain't gonna say the law. That's just a rule. Okay, they have to choose a white person, right? And it's not the teacher's fault. She's just following the rule. Blacks have 1/10 wealth as an average white household. Did this happen by chance? No. It happened by policy throughout. It happened by policy throughout the years. We were dealt a short stick from the beginning. Okay. We were dealt a short stick from the beginning. Now these people supposed to come at 8 o'clock. It's 8:25. I need to have Wilson to call that number again because they haven't showed up. Hey, they haven't showed up. They haven't showed up. Why don't you look for that last number that was called? Because I'm still doing this live, and call her and ask her what's going on.
I ain't called. You called.
Okay, I'm almost finished. Anyway, he said he want me to call, so I'm gonna finish this right quick, and then I'm gonna call. But yeah, we were dealt a short stick from the beginning, So guys, we as black and brown, we gotta try harder, we gotta study harder, we gotta get educated. And college is not for everyone, but those who can go to college, we need to go to college. Those that don't want to do college might want to do a 1 year or 2 year type of skill set. Go to like a technical school or whatever, but get a job where you can get some type of certification so you can get a job making more than minimum wages. And yeah, so we were dealt a short stick from the beginning. So since we were dealt this short stick, we need to try harder. And because whereas our counterparts, our non-black and brown, they wasn't dealt a short stick. Their families own their ancestors. I'm not gonna call them ancestors, but their grandmothers and great grandmothers. They lived in new homes. They were able to get the better jobs. They were able to save up money and send their kids to college. And then when this generation does it, then the next generation does it, then the next generation does it. This is in the non-black and brown communities. So they already have the upper hand. We do not have the upper hand. So we need to try harder. We need to stop wasting our brain. Put our brain to work. Get educated. Do research. Try harder. And we need people. We need to unite together as a people. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, race in America. That's what I'm talking about, race in America. From slavery all the way to present day. So, don't sit around on the couch every day and don't want to work and just accept government assistance. Now, some people have to accept government assistance because they may can't work or something like that. And then our non-black and white, our non-black and brown, they accept government assistance also. But what I'm talking about us. I'm talking about you, right? Don't sit around and accept that. Get out there and get you a job. Get you some type of skill set. College is not for everyone. And the military is not for everyone. Okay? I went to the military. I retired as a master sergeant, serving 23 and a half years. I went to college. I got 2 college degrees. I'm not boasting, but I just tried harder because I wanted more. I wanted something for myself, my family. And that's the mindset the young people, you guys should have. If your parents are listening to this, parents, teach your children. Get in there and do some research and talk to your children about how we were given a short stick from the beginning. And see, we were given that short stick, and we wasn't given the opportunity to rise early on, now we can do it now. Let them know they can do it now. But yeah, that's my subject on Race in America. Hit that like, hit that share button, and I'm gonna get to business and call this agent and let her know where's the people that were supposed to come look at the house come and look at the house for sale, our house for sale. And yeah, and another thing, owning a home in America is one of the most important investment you can have. Owning a home is one of the most important investment you could have. And that's written in the books. Okay? Okay? So if you want to own a home, get you a job, get your credit right. If your credit not right, get your credit 700 and above, 650 and above. Get your credit right. Have have income coming in, and go out there and apply for that loan. Apply for that loan and buy your home. Because when you're renting, you're throwing the money out the window. Out of the window. Yes, yes, yes. So owning a home is one of the most important investments in the U.S. Because back when they did the FHA, when the FHA, the Federal Housing Authority, the federal government authorized all the building of all these brand new homes. Back then, we could not buy a home. The realtors were not allowed to sell us a home. It was a realtor code that you cannot sell to black people. But now we can buy homes. So our grandmothers and great grandmothers and so on and so forth back then could not buy a home. Now we can buy a home. So get like some people say, get your mind right. Get your mind right. I love you guys, but God loves you more. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that like and share. Hit that like and share. Hit that like and share. And as I always say, and plus you guys have a great evening. I hope you said your blessings today. You thank God for all your blessings. But you guys have a great evening. And as I always say, sugar, butter, love one another. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.